Hey everybody, it's me, Terry. I'm back again. I want to do a little video and I want to talk about a particular subject. It's a symptom of a psychosis, and it's none of the flashier symptoms. It's just plain simply the confusion that can come out of psychosis. With me, anyway, I'm talking about things. I've noticed three primary things. First of all, it's just plain hard to concentrate. It's like you got a really bad night of sleep, and a lot of noise and lights going off around you, and everything's rushing past. It's just hard to focus on an idea and keep it centered. And then the next two are a little stranger. Usually when you think about something you've been over again and again, you come to the same conclusion. If you pull up, stop sign means stop. Or if you've been through a certain encounter so many times, or thought through a problem so many times, you've pretty much already solved that thought. A lot of times the thought process is more about recognizing the components of the thought and then connecting them to the conclusion that you've come to multiple times. And when that's off, you can take conditions or thoughts that you normally pre-arrive at, and you don't get the the same answer. And then there's the strange one that, the best thing I can do is like glasses. It's like you're wearing a totally different prescription in your glasses. Everything looks off, everything looks strange. It's almost like you're thinking out from somebody else's brain. Okay, here we go. How about this? Say you were rock hard all the way to the right, conservative, and you had the normal views and ideas associated with that. And then you just woke up the next day and, you're a liberal, socialism is going to save us all type person. No conversion process, no transition. Just, it's almost it's your thought identity that's changed. Not just the way you come to decisions, not just your ability to think, but your mental perspective is off. I've looked these things up, and I can't really find hard core words for it. They just call it confusion. And when they talk about confusion, I've noticed they tend to talk about, when you talk to somebody, how confused they seem. I'm talking about the internal confusion. Not necessarily missing words, but that can definitely happen. But that's more a concentration issue. Your speech being messed up and not being able to speak clearly or convey ideas concisely. I'm talking more about what's going on inside, because so much of what they describe in psychiatric terms is observation based from external perspective rather than the subjective experience that the person who's suffering it is actually going through, which is where I'm coming from this. So I'm going through something pretty close to what I'm talking about right now. But of course, in my case, I don't know whether it's psychosis, onset psychosis, or if it's being over-medicated. I've tried to call my doctor, get him a call back on my medication, because I think I'm over-medicated and I'm having various side effects. My sleep's for shit. having massive intrusive thoughts. I mean, the intrusive thoughts have gone from a bad song that keeps popping up in your head to just a continuous, unrelenting case of the hiccups. And also this confusion that I'm talking about. So, I mean, and all three of those are signs of psychosis. But there are also signs of amygdala and geodine being cranked up too high. And I don't know which one it is. I'm not noticing any of the other things. I'm not having a sense of grandiosity. I'm not having paranoia, which is a big one for me when I have psychosis. But it could just be an isolated thing. Yeah, so everybody knows what it's like to have a hard time thinking. So you can get along with that. And maybe if you remember back to your earlier years, or you can think about when you happen upon a new situation, what it's like going through the chain of observation, interpretation that leads to decision and meaning, and knowing not just how hard that is, but coming to conclusions that you don't normally come to. And then there's the feeling that it feels like that your mind just flipped over, and all your, I'm not going to say assumptions, but all the little things that automatically click in your head when you come across a situation. I don't know, anything from something that goes, ooh, this is a bad scene, danger, I need to back off, to things that go, hey, this is an opportunity, go ahead and take care of it. And even when it comes to personal beliefs, you hear somebody talking, and you think, oh, this person's way off. All that can be radically different. It's almost a different identity. Well, I'm not going into dissociative identity. I'm talking about it's still you, but your framework is so different. And those three things combined, it makes it so hard to do any meaningful thinking. Because if everything was perfect to start with, you're at a disadvantage because your brain's subpar as far as being able to take in information. And then the way you process it seems off. It's like I said, it's 2 + 2 = 5, or maybe 3. But if you're used to it, when you're used to it equaling 4, even though, let's say 2 + 2 = 4 might be wrong, but it's still the conclusion you come up with most of the time. But now you take the same factors and the same conditions, and you come up with different ideas for them, or interpretations, and it's off-putting. But that main biggie is just, I don't know, it's like somebody changed out your eyeballs and you're seeing the world different. Except instead of looking out, you're in. It's not so much you're in a stranger's head, but I know what it's like. If you've ever quit smoking, you notice after a month or so, after all the nicotine leaves your system, things taste totally different. Things smell totally different. I mean, and right away, or if you're not a smoker and you go into a smoker's house, all of a sudden you're hit with that smell that's, that you go, ooh, whereas the smoker doesn't notice it. I mean, that's normal to him, whereas it's not normal to the person who doesn't. I mean, it's no big deal one way or another. Doesn't seriously, I'm just, olfactory perspective, it doesn't, unless it's a vile, sickening thing, it doesn't, it's just something's off. Something's off. Something's altered your worldview. And that, to me, that's the most distressing. Having had lots of major mood disorders and some of the flashier symptoms of psychosis, I'm used to really weird shit. But this is medium to small weird that you have a very hard time explaining. Well, like I said, I'm in the middle of it, so I can't really think of anything else to kind of add to that right now. So, wish I was a little bit more entertaining, a little bit more lively, but oh well, that's what I am. So, I hope things are going well for you, and try to keep up hope, and take care of each other, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.